Like, bruh, how do you shoot your sister and her baby at the same time? Like, what be going through y'all head, bruh? Like, when y'all be doing stuff like this.
Here we have another sorry-ass 36-year-old failed rapper who chose the streets over a job. He waited until his 30s to tattoo his whole face, and according to his face, he's the biggest GD in Palm Beach County. But now he's known as the man that shot his own sister and her baby. Friday, May 1st, it was before 6 a.m. when Palm Beach County sheriffs responded to a shooting. Arriving at a home, they met a woman who'd been shot in the thigh and shot in her foot. In her arms was a baby, and even the baby had been shot in the leg. Deputies saw 3 spent shell casings from a handgun outside the front door. 6 rifle shell casings would be found outside the front window, and 9 holes could be seen in the window. Officers conducted a protective sweep of the home, finding a handgun holster on the floor near the front door. The woman and her baby were rushed to a nearby hospital. Detectives from the Violent Crime Division would interview the woman from her hospital bed, who stated she's had an ongoing violent relationship with her brother. Marvin Davilmar is a failed rapper who's gone by the name T Crisis and more recently 16 G's Crisis. His sister would tell detectives she was sleeping when she was hit by gunfire as bullets pierced through her window. She'd been shot and realized her baby had also been shot. Her older daughter, Marvin's niece, was in her room when she heard the gunfire erupt. During the shooting, in between shots, she heard her uncle's voice say something I can't say. Officers went to Marvin's house, locating his old Ford Crown Victoria blocks away. Taking him into custody, officers back at the home observed ring camera footage showing the suspect wearing a light-colored hoodie and dark pants. After the shooting, the suspect can be seen running to a vehicle and entering the front right passenger seat. The vehicle was Marvin's. Officers showed the video to Marvin's niece, who reacted with shock, saying, "That's him." During the course of the investigation, it was determined there was a total of 7 people inside the home. Based on his niece's statements and his vehicle being seen on ring camera, Marvin was charged with 2 counts of attempted murder, 7 counts of firing a missile into a dwelling, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. At this time, there was no known motive as to why Marvin shot his sister's house up with her kids inside. But this isn't his first violent incident involving women. Back in 2024, Marvin got into it with his baby mama and wouldn't let her leave the house. He told her, "Let's go buy weed," leaving with their 2-month-old child. They'd begin arguing in the car when Marvin pulled over, got out of the car, and beat the shit out of her. In 2022, police arrested Marvin for aggravated stalking after he kept calling a woman from different numbers and threatening to blow up her job, telling her the police better be ready. With a 6-point star on his throat, a giant pitchfork on his forehead, this gangster disciple hasn't done one gangster thing in his whole criminal career. He'd go to prison back in 2014, just serving under 3 years on drug charges. His mugshot would show he didn't have one face tat and was released minimum custody, meaning he wasn't a gangster disciple, he was a good disciple, following all of the prison rules before going home. According to Facebook, Marvin literally got all that shit tatted on his face 2 years ago at 34 years old. A crash out by definition, but definitely a late bloomer. Marvin,
most definitely a definition of a crash dummy. Crash out, a follower. You 34 years old getting all that bullshit tatted on your face, bruh. What is that?
for each count of attempted murder, 15 years for each count of firing a missile into a dwelling, and 15 years for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. In total, Marvin faces double life plus 120 years in Florida State Prison. Now, when I saw this mugshot, I knew there was going to be a crazy story to follow, because nobody with a normal mentality is going to tattoo all that shit on their face. And to be honest with you, I thought he would have done that at like the crash out years, from like 16 to 24. But the fact that he got all that shit tatted at like 34, I don't know. I don't know what would cause him to do that, because you have a lot of people that go to prison and blast out their whole face, either in like county jail or as soon as they get there, because they want to appear more intimidating. Like, there's a lot of people that do that shit. It's really common, actually. And they'll get to prison with these fresh tats, and you don't see them in the mugshots when they go to county jail. But when they get to prison, they got their whole face done. And it's just like, when you get in there, you see so many people that look like that, it doesn't even faze you. Like, I knew a kid from Palm Beach. He was a GD. He got a 6-point star on his face and an AK across his forehead. And he's got all gold teeth. You know what I mean? So, like, the tattoo is not really impressive, but it's just like, what did you become, a super GD at 34? Like, he had the star on his neck when he was in prison. So he was GD then. But I guess he became like super GD. Like, he got a raise, he got a bonus or something. I don't know what would cause him
got a raise
to just put some big shit, and then he's got 16 G's. He seems like he's mentally fried. But aside from obviously the tattoos, shooting into your sister's home while her kids are inside is another argument that you're not all the way mentally there, right?
Right.
He shot into this crib while she had a baby, and the baby got hit. And it hasn't been determined like what condition the baby's in, because again, there was pistol rounds and rifle rounds. If that baby would have got hit with the rifle, I'm sure the baby's leg would have been gone. Pretty much the same could be said for the woman, because rifle rounds destroy what they hit. So I'm assuming it was the pistol. And then even then, a baby, you know how small they are? A bullet to hit a baby is so likely to cause so much damage.
Man.
And then his niece recognizes his voice in the midst of gunfire. He just traumatized that whole family. Now, aside from the aunt saying it was most likely him or the sister, and the niece hearing his voice, I don't think they have much more evidence than that. They have someone who they weren't able to fully identify, I don't believe. He just had on a hoodie. And then they have his vehicle there, but the suspect gets into the passenger seat, which means there must have been a driver, right? So now there's 2 people instead of 1. When you hear a case like this, you kind of hope the motherfucker doesn't get out. And then when you hear their history, beating this girl, stalking some other girl, like, all of his crimes are against women. So it's like, nah, don't let him out. Figure out what the fuck is wrong. And he's facing forever. But it's crazy because it'll be people like that that'll win their case, not because they have a crazy good lawyer, but because of a technicality, an error, a mistake in the investigation. They fucked up the evidence. Stupid shit like that lets people like that free, and then they come home and do even wilder shit. But shooting your own sister, shooting her baby, which was either your niece or nephew, traumatizing your other fucking niece, beating your baby mama, stalking another woman, this isn't very GD. But let me know y'all's thoughts and comments in the comment section. It's 10-9.
Man, he gonna get what he deserved, man. Straight up. He's slow. Something wrong with him. Telling your face like that at the age of 34. Then shooting into your sister's house, hitting your sister and the baby. Yeah, he got some loose screws up there. So yeah, they need to keep him. Straight up. Ain't too much to say about him. He need to stay right where he at. Go up in there, get some more tats on his face. Shit, paint your whole face. Just tat the whole face a whole nother color or something. Drop y'all thoughts and opinions in the comments. I'm gone.